At UFC 309, Jon Jones will fight Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight title, while the interim champion Tom Aspinall will watch from the sidelines. There were rumors that this could be a retirement fight for both Jon and Stipe, but it seems that might not be the case anymore for Jon Jones. Jones is actually interested in a fight with Alex Pereira next after Stipe, and not with Tom Aspinall. Jon Jones spoke with Kevin Iole and told him that Tom Aspinall hasn't proved or done anything to deserve a title fight against him.
More than likely not. I feel like Tom Aspinall is, I don't want to say nobody, but he just hasn't proven anything. He hasn't done anything. I understand that. I mean, he won his belt against Sergey. Sergey just got slaughtered by someone else. So it's just like, I'm not here to gamble someone else making a name off of me. I'm here to compete against the guys where when we look back, 10 years from now, it'd be like Jon Jones fought this guy and that guy and this legend and this champion and this champion.
Jon Jones feels that a fight with Alex Pereira does more for his legacy since Pereira is a 2-division champion as well as a big fan favorite, unlike Tom Aspinall, who he believes hasn't fought anybody decent.
If there were to be a fight of a guy that's still on our UFC roster that would be not only financially worth it, but legacy worth it, it would be Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira and I, we're both 37 years old. Right now, I weigh about 235. I think Pereira walks around at 240. And I think that fight would go much farther on my legacy than a young man who's cool today and maybe gone tomorrow. I remember a time when the whole world thought Johnny Walker was going to be the guy to beat me. No disrespect for Johnny Walker, but I mean, we all have seen the way his career's played out. I've just been here too long to get all excited about someone who's hot today. I'm here for legacy. I've been gambling for way too long to just take random fights.
Dana White recently did an interview with TNT Sports where he said he believed that the winner of Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic would take a fight with the interim champion Tom Aspinall.
And I truly believe that whoever wins this fight, competitively, the way that these guys are wired and the reason that they're both massive legends in the sport, they're not going to just ride off into the sunset without settling the dispute with Tom Aspinall. And I think that also, when you think about Jon Jones becoming the youngest champion in heavyweight history and all the things that Stipe accomplished, they were given opportunities, when they were young, and I think that they will reciprocate.
Heavyweight MMA, Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall. Oh man, that might be the best fight in MMA.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. People will lose their minds if either one of those fights happen. Stipe or Jon Jones.
The only reaction from Tom Aspinall to Jon Jones's comments were from his Instagram story where he shared the same clip from Dana White that I just showed with a thinking face emoji on top of the clip. But however, there is still a chance for Tom Aspinall since he is the official backup for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Earlier this week, Aspinall told Red Corner MMA that the UFC told him to continue training to be the backup, but he's unsure whether Jon or Stipe would even accept a fight against him on short notice if one were to pull out.
Obviously you're the backup fighter for Jones and Stipe, but do you actually believe that if one of them pulls out, you will get the opportunity to fight them?
I like to think I would. I'm like ever the optimist with most things, but realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. But I am ready. Okay, like the fights at this point, it's like less than 2 weeks away. I'm ready to go. Like if they want me to jump in, I can definitely jump in now. I'm in good shape. I've been preparing for it. Obviously it's difficult because I've not been preparing for one guy, but I am fit. I am ready to go. So if they need me, I will jump in, yeah. But I don't really think it's going to happen. I think those guys are, at this point, they've probably earned the right to say no, and like that's okay, but I'll be ready. They told me to be ready, so I'm just following the UFC orders. They said, be ready November 16th, so I will be ready November 16th, and that's all I can do.
Kamaru Usman wants to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov on short notice. Last week, Bilal Muhammad pulled out of the UFC 310 main event, leaving Shavkat without an opponent. Kamaru said on his Pound for Pound podcast recently that he's ready to shock the world and take this fight. All the UFC has to do is call him.
But listen, at the end of the day, first of all, Henry, let me clarify something. We're not teammates. He comes in and trains in my gym where I was for most of my career until the last 4 or 5 years, which I'm still in that gym. That's H Kickboxing, Henry's gym. Kill Cliff now is the name, but he's not my teammate per se. But if the UFC is going to call who they think is going to be legit, tough enough, and man enough to step in there is crazy enough to step in there on short notice and go out there and possibly shock the world. Definitely the UFC know who to call when that situation happens. And if they do give me a call, I'm going to answer the call. We'll get a couple things straight. And if we got to do it, we got to do it. I don't shy away from any of that. I've done it on 7 days notice. I've done it on 6 days notice. I've done it on 8 days notice. And hey,
yeah, no, 100%.
This is only a couple weeks notice, but it is what it is.
Shavkat Rakhmonov seems to want this fight as well, since he told Ariel Helwani this week that he wants Usman for the interim title. Another name that wanted to step in versus Shavkat was Colby Covington. Colby told Submission Radio this week that he notified the UFC that he wanted to step in and fight on short notice, but he believes the UFC want to go in a different direction and want to book the Kamaru Usman versus Shavkat fight instead.
I was very tempted. If UFC would have called me, they know I'm a game time player, dude. I love doing the biggest and best business for the company. So I was excited at the opportunity to step in there, but it looks like they're going a different route. They're going to go with potentially with the Usman and shit rat fight, and good on them. That's okay. I'm right there still anyways. I beat someone, I'm right back in the conversation. So I would love that. They know they can call me on a week's notice, and I'm stepping up to the plate. So, and I want to fight everybody. I want to fight all the biggest and best fights, and I'm coming back a completely changed fighter.